What's up, everybody? Sudeep Tuma back here with another Oklahoma State football breakdown. This time we're taking a look at Spencer Sanders, the fourth-year starting quarterback, the redshirt senior Spencer Sanders, who's had a interesting career at Oklahoma State. Probably had his best season last year, but also set a career high in interceptions. But again, stats don't tell the whole story. And that's kind of been the caveat with his career overall, right? Since getting to Stillwater, he's shown a lot of promise, shown big arm, explosive, electric rushing ability, the ability to make some off-schedule plays, do some really good things. But then he's also had, his mind-numbing mistakes where he's taken unnecessary risks, being loose with the football, and the turnovers start to pile up. And that's always been the number one thing. Can he cut that down, play some smarter football? And last year had his best year, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. And that 12 is, yes, a career high, but you just want to look at his decision making and how it all comes together. And I think overall, you definitely see some improvements over time because his two biggest things were A, mechanics, pocket presence, that sort of things. And then two, just the decision making of taking risks that shouldn't always be taken because he wants to be that guy. He wants to win, right? He's a great leader in that aspect, like someone who always takes accountability. But again, it was always about those turnovers and how that number is going to swing, how his decision making is going to be. And you watched him last year. I think he did things a lot better in terms of cutting out a lot of those risks. He at times when he was more locked in, stepping up in the pocket, completing his throws, he looked a lot better, not taking those sort of risks. And it was a big thing because as early on with this offense, it was not the unit that was expected to be or that's come to be expected with Mike Gundy. And a lot of that had to do with some offensive line still shuffling around, and also the wide receiver group being so young. And you found a guy in Jalen Warren. They were able to really run the offense through him, focus on that run game, QB design runs, take advantage of Sanders' legs. And then as time goes on, or as time went on, season went on, he started to, or rather the offense started to unlock a little more for him as, guys were able to get some more experience, figure out roles, and then go from there. But overall, when I just kind of look at it, I think it was definitely better, and there are definitely some mistakes that were piled in, and we'll kind of go through it and see one by one where we're at. So this play, you'll kind of see him just drop back, play action, and throw it to seemingly just the other team. Right? Takes that snap, play action, and then just throws it right into coverage. And the thing here is, I remember this game vividly. We're in the press box, and it just looked so wacky. And everyone's sitting there like, what are they looking at? What was that play? The receiver must have run, wrong route or something. And I remember Mike Gundy talked about it after, and he said that it was on Spencer Sanders. Probably shouldn't have thrown that. I think he just thought that the receiver concept was different from what it actually was. So apparently it wasn't on the receivers. It was on Spencer Sanders. Not knowing very early on, we didn't really see another mistake like this one later on. But it's just miscommunication, learning through things, and going on from there. A little bit uncharacteristic, but runs it all the way back. Obviously, this is a tough pick six, as they all are. And this is where it started to get a little more dicey, right? Of his 12 interceptions, 7 of them are in 2 games against Baylor, which is astonishing. Obviously, Baylor, with Dave Aranda, very smart defensive mind, has done just a lot of things to kind of trick Spencer, get him some bad looks, unfavorable situations. And when you chalk it up, a lot of it really has to do with pressure, interior pressure, just pressure in general, and just disguising coverages. They did a good job of that. Some of it was just overthrows, and we'll see all 7 interceptions as we go on. So first one, we'll start here. Got Brandon Presley. He's going to go in motion, and then Spencer is going to take that snap, grabs it, and the pressure comes right into him, and he throws it right to Riley Tejada, which just looks like a horrible play. We look on the back end. So you got Presley there. He's going to be the one running the out route, the one Spencer's trying to throw to. And then Rashad Owens here, I believe it's Rashad Owens. He's just going to be running down the field. So it should be a pretty simple route, just a little clear out and go. But it looks like Baylor, it looks like up here they're bringing a lot of pressure, right? You got 6 guys on the line. They drop out of it, drop to cover 3 buzz look. And the difference between that and normal cover 3 is usually in cover 3, these 2 corners and this safety are going to all drop and play deep, and everyone else going to be underneath. When you're in the cover 3 cloud, not buzz, you're going to have 1, 2, 3. They're all going to drop back, and then this corner right here, instead of bailing all the way back, he's going to hold himself in that curl flat area, and then you're going to have a couple other guys play on that underneath coverage. So, because this happens so fast, right, Baylor brings us pressure, or at least fakes pressure, ends up only rushing 4 guys, and the offensive line does a horrible job that one of the Baylor defensive linemen just get right into Spencer Sanders' face, and interior pressure is the absolute worst. And he's been taught, over the years, whenever there's pressure, don't just run out and try to do something. Step in the pocket, make a play, and sometimes you get twisted with that. But overall, it just came so fast where he can't even do anything. He can't even escape, can't even make a play, and you'll see his footwork's all messed up. He's throwing off his back foot, not able to step and throw or anything, right? So let's watch it, right? Gets a snap, and right there. First off, as that play is about to go, you see these 2 guys? They're the ones jumping back. And then watch 45 right here. He's going to just get right in as Hunter Woodard just gets so confused because of, all 6 guys there that he misses the assignment. Obviously not proper communication on the line. 45 gets right in. And as he's in Spencer's face, right? Right here, there's no one in between, right? Look at this guy right here. There's absolutely nothing. So Spencer keeps backing up, throws off his back foot. And we'll see it from the front angle in a second. Right here, right? Keep your eyes on Spencer. As he's stepping back, he's just drawing back. Right here, right? He's just falling backwards. Can't really step much into it. Just keeps dropping back. Because he knows the rush is coming. He knows he's going to be hit. He's bracing for that impact. And so he's just trying to get rid of that ball, right? Gets rid of that ball here and throws a pick. And then we look on the coverage side. I don't know exactly what Spencer Sanders was thinking, right? Maybe he thought it was man, or maybe he just didn't have enough time to process everything. But this corner right here, where again, in typical cover 3, he's just bailing all the way back, playing that vertical stem. But instead, he holds in that area, right? So keep your eyes on Tejada. And then as that play is being called, right? Again, right here, right? You got that go route there and the out route right there. So Tejada, again, he's right there. He's holding his ground there. And he's just watching Spencer Sanders. And this is from the opposite hash although, so it's an even longer throw. And because he's just watching the eyes, he can just undercut that and grab the interception where Brendan Presley should be. And then you just watch it, right? Just how quickly does this all happen? Because that's what pressure can really do. When you have that offensive line like this, it just screws up all your decision making. Everything can't come together, and so we'll see it one more time. Throws it, and Tejada grabs it. And it's an interception, right? So you see him, right? As he's just backing up, throwing off, not able to get his feet squared, doesn't have a wide base, just trying to get rid of that ball and brace for that hit. Now keep in mind, as we're going along, the number one thing that we're always watching with Spencer Sanders is he going to take those risks and throw passes that he shouldn't be, right? Instead of, forcing the ball down the field in a tough matchup to, make that play. Will he just, eat it and throw it away, make a smart decision, wise decision, live to fight another day? Or is he going to make a very difficult or, risky decision? And over here in 3rd and 11, there's nothing risky about what he does here. He's just throwing that little crossing route to Brendan Presley, but just simply overthrows it, right? Watch it here. Presley's going to go out, right? Run across the field. Sanders has him. Presley could probably run for it if he grabs it, but just overthrows it, right? Knows he threw it badly, right? And here, everything's square. He's fading back a little bit, and that's, again, some of the things we're talking about, right? Watch him here. Watch Spencer. And then as he's doing, his feet aren't exactly square toward Presley, right? You see his body. He's turning, doesn't exactly have his foot pointed toward, his body pointed toward Presley. So he's also throwing it off angle right here, right? You see the way he's throwing it. And from there, it releases and goes over Presley's head. He's pretty open, right? Obviously not crazy open, but he's got enough space where he catches it. He's an explosive guy. He's probably going to run for first down or at least get close to it. But instead, he gets overthrown. And a lot of that's just, again, watch his body, right? Sanders' body, right? Where is he watching from? Rather, where is he dropping back from, right? Grabs it, looking straight, and you see it kind of pointing toward the middle, and then he's throwing it toward the right without turning properly, stepping into that throw. And a lot of that, what does that have to do? This lineman right here, again, I believe that's 45, same guy. He's right in Spencer's face. And because of that, that ball has to come out quick. You're not able to settle properly. And again, that's just a combination of didn't step up, didn't step around that rush, and also had to rush it, not proper footwork, and you see it all come together. Just an overthrow. And that's something we'll see as we go on and on. There are a lot of inaccuracies with his passing. And he's got a great arm. He can sling it down the field. His vertical ability to stretch the field is great. Throws 50-50 balls up very well with good ball placement. But then there are times where it's just plain inaccuracies. And that's really just, mind-numbing. So overthrows it, and then that's the issue. All right, grabs it. You see him fade back, throws it over, and just overthrows Presley. So again, it's not the decision making there. It's just the arm and the inaccuracy, and some of that again you link to the mechanics, the way his body is pointed, not able to properly function in the pocket. And in the beginning, when I said improved pocket presence mechanics, absolutely, that was a thing. That is a thing, but it's not perfect, and it's not. He doesn't have what Shane Ellingworth brought you in terms of pocket presence and some of that other aspects. Then over here, 3rd and 4, you got the trips formation down here. You're going to see, I believe, Presley go in motion, and this is that third interception of that game, the last one, right? Presley right there. He's run over to the other side, and then Spencer's going to grab the ball and just throw it, and simple. That one's pretty self-explanatory. And that's one that you don't put it on Spencer Sanders. You got Rashad Owens, who's going to be the recipient of this pass. It's going to get to his hands, right to the numbers. Perfect place you got to throw it on the slant route, one-on-one coverage, good read, simple read, get the first down, but just bounces right out of the receiver's hands, right? Right, he does everything right. Throws it, little 3-step drop, and that's just unlucky, right? Ball bounces in the air. All sorts of unlucky for Spencer and this Oklahoma State offense because he makes the right play. He throws it the right place, throws it accurately, throws it well, but bounces up in the air. That's always difficult, right? See him here, right? Steps forward and then gets that foot, is able to plant, go, and then from here, as you see that ball in slow motion, right? Gets to right in the receiver's hands, but the ball bounces in the air, and from there it's dangerous. Let's see that one last time. Right, takes a snap, those couple steps, able to step in, throw that perfectly where it needs to be. And sometimes bounce in the air, and that's, not on the quarterback, but it happens. And it's going to go on the quarterback's stat sheet, unfortunately. And then this one, we'll see look closely to that Brendan Presley overthrow. So we'll just run it first to watch it. So you got them in that shotgun, goes into little pistol formation. Then here you're just going to see, again, Rashad Owens over there, curl route. He's going to run it, little play action, and it's just overthrown. And when I watch this, there's two things that go through my mind. A, it's either that the receiver cut the route too short and didn't go as deep as Spencer Sanders thought he would, and B, it was just an overthrow. And I'm inclined to say overthrow because it's 3rd and 4. You're not expecting him to go that deep. Because you see Owens right here, right? Right now he's around that first down marker. And then where does he cut it off? Around 5, 6, 7 yards, right? Turns around. So right now he's open, right? This is the right read. You, as Spencer Sanders, you're looking at that one-on-one soft coverage. Easy read, right? Right here. Watch Spencer. Grabs that snap. Play action. And he has all the time in the world, right? But just throws that inaccurately. Watch his body again. The mechanics are square because he's not fading back. There's no pressure in his face, right? You watch Sanders. Watch him right there. As he gets this, watch in slow motion. He grabs it. And then, right, he's there. Look at his pocket. He's got all the space around him. So he steps. And from where he throws that ball, he's throwing it to, again, from a clean pocket, throwing it to Owens, and you watch Owens on the back end. He's got more than enough space here, but Sanders just overthrows that. And again, I don't know if that's cutting the route too short. I would assume not, but that's the problem. And Again, we say that's not a decision-making problem. That's probably just, an arm problem, the inaccuracy problem. And that's probably an easier fix than actually, I don't know if that's necessarily an easier fix, but you'd rather see someone, overthrow something here and there, receiver drop something, rather than making the wrong decision, because that's really how you get fooled and, stuck into a lot of things, and defensive coordinators will take advantage of that. And this one is just an incredible play by a defender. I forget who said it once, but there's 3 types of interceptions. One is a bad decision, 2 is a bad throw, and 3 is just the defense making an incredible play. And this absolutely goes in that third category. So watch it here. It's going to be screen pass, right? And what I like here is how Sanders sells it, right? He's looking to the right, looks back to the left, and then Dante still just makes an incredible play. You watch from the back end, right? Sanders grabs the snap, watch his head. He's looking to the right. He's showing that defense, okay, he's playing him off using his eyes, right? And then he flips back to that left, right? Looks now, and now he's got Jalen Warren. He wants to dump it off, but Dante Stills makes an incredible play, batting it down. You saw it right there. 2 reasons it's incredible. 1, he's got the sense to understand his screen. 2, he's holding his ground, timing it well, and batting at the line of scrimmage. And 3, he makes a very acrobatic catch to grab that. That's difficult, right? Simple, awesome. And you see it right from here, from the back. Sorry, from the normal angle. You watch Jalen Warren, who's right here. As this play is developing, and Warren gets there, if that pass is complete to Warren, you've got all these offensive linemen. They're going to be able to make some blocks and get, a good chunk of yards potentially. And with Warren's elusiveness, this is a good setup. So Stills makes an incredible play. But again, you can't put that on Sanders. I mean, it's just difficult in these type of situations, because when offensive linemen, or rather defensive linemen, are blocking balls at the line of scrimmage, it's just difficult. But he does what he needs to for the screen pass. Does all the simple things, and times that happens. And these 2 interceptions we're going to see in this Bedlam game, these are a little more concerning in the sense of being fooled by coverage. And I think OU does a very good job of, again, tricking Spencer Sanders, watching his eyes, and exposing his weaknesses. So watch the first one here, and then we'll go back through it. Right, Sanders gets the snap right here, looks to the right, and throws it right to, again, what seems like just a defender, right, who goes back for a long distance. Now, when we see it from the second angle, it'll be a lot easier to see. So similar to the second interception we saw, that first Baylor one, Tay Martin right here, he's going to be going on that 9 route, and then Blaine Green, again, going to be going on that out route. Simple concept in Mike Gundy. We see this all the time with the slot receivers, the tight ends. So you watch Blaine Green right here, right? Sanders watching that. He's watching that right side. He feels like it's one-on-one coverage. It looks like that, and throws it right to the defender. Now, a couple things. 1, there's only one read. Like, he's not going through his progressions. And, it's a common thing in Mike Gundy offense and for college quarterbacks in general. But he's staring at that right side the whole time. He's thinking this is a man coverage where he's going to get Green on the out route. Why? Because this guy right here, he thinks he's going to bail and come all the way down. Now, I can't see the entire play, so I can't tell you 100% accurately, but it does look like a cover 3 type of look, or cover 3 cloud like the first one also, possibly. But what's clear is that this guy right here is watching the eyes of Spencer Sanders. So even though he's playing that bail technique on Tay Martin, he's still keeping his eyes on Spencer Sanders, right? Watch him right there. As this is going on, right? Watch him. He's watching the eyes. So as soon as Green makes that cut, and Sanders under pressure also, right? Because this man's right here, and Cole Birmingham can't keep him at bay, right? So Sanders feels like he has to get rid of it, but he also feels like he has a good matchup, right? On that cut, you see Sanders. He's cocking that ball back, ready to hit Green on that out route, throw that toward the sideline. But you got eyes right here where he's just watching it and cutting off. And again, that's what I mean, exposing the weaknesses. And from there, leads to that long, very bad interception. Over here, this is even more interesting. So right now he's in the empty set. Everyone out. Jalen Warren's out in the slot receiver, and just watch that here from here. Second angle will definitely be better for us. So yes, this was tipped in the air, but no, it was not the wide receiver's fault. It was someone's fault. Whether it's the offensive line or Spencer Sanders, you decide. So this is, again, the empty set. You got Jalen Warren right here, Blaine Green, and then you're going to see both Blaine Green and Tay Martin are going to be running in breaking routes once they get 10, 15 yards down the field. Right, so you see it, and at this point right here, this is what he sees, right? Spencer Sanders sees this little hole here, and he wants to fit that ball into there. And it's a tight window, and I think he reads man, and I think it is man, but it's also very soft coverage, right? If we go back a second, you see all these guys. 1, 2, 3. See how far off they're playing already, right? This is, I believe, a third and long situation. So when that snap is taken, you watch these guys, right? Even right now, look at these corners again. Look how far off they are from their receivers. They're just keeping them in front of them. So even when Jalen Warren, goes to the right, this guy right here, he's not worried about stepping up because why? It's 3rd and 10 plus, so he just has to rally to make that tackle, which is very simple. Before that pass is made, he's going to be there already to make that tackle, and it'll be it. But then, reason I brought that offensive line, now he runs a very good ET stunt on this side, right here between these two guys right there, and watch that side for a second. You're going to see the pressure come from right around, and Sanders feels that, steps up a little bit, does a good job, but has to get rid of that ball. And you see right here, again, these guys, man coverage, right? But because they're, again, reading Spencer Sanders' eyes, they're playing off their men. So when that ball is going to be taken in, or rather when that ball is released, you see how tight these 3 OU defenders get, right? And then from there, that ball's tipped in the air. It's a very tight window, and it goes in the air. It looks like just a simple cover one-man look from this linebacker dropping and that safety up there. But then you look, again, if Sanders has more time or goes through another progression instead of just staring to the right side the whole time, you watch Blaine Green right here, who's running that in-breaking route. Now, obviously, this looks probably more open than it would be if Sanders threw it there, but it's still a good amount of open space. You watch Green right here. Look at all this open area right there. Now, again, like I said, it looks a little more because the safety's there, but that ball could have been fit in there, absolutely. But he's looking on the right side the whole time, looking at that read, and OU's watching him and takes advantage of that. And that's where some of the concern comes in. But again, this is not what we saw his first 2 years, where he's just, making passes that are into such tight windows just because he wants to possibly take the risk. These are different type of scenarios, which are just, guys, defensive coordinator doing a very good job taking advantage of his weaknesses, which have definitely changed. Now we get back to Baylor, right? The last 4 interceptions of this clip and the last 4 interceptions of 2021 season. So number 1, this is going to be pretty simple. Just looks like just a overthrow. We'll see it, right? Runs there and overthrows Brennan Presley, and simple, easy interception, it would seem. Guy runs it all the way back here. So from that back angle, to me, this isn't the greatest of throws. Not just the throw itself, obviously that's bad, but also just the decision to throw it. Right? When he takes that pass, yep, that's safety. It's being circled. So he's watching Brennan Presley, it looks like, right? And right now, Brennan Presley isn't beat. It hasn't beaten the corner, excuse me. But at this point, right here, Presley has, right? Now Presley's got a little step. So that's when you see Sanders start to get back, right? Presley's got the little step. But Sanders right now is trying to hit this little area right here, which first off is very, very small. But again, he overthrows it and goes to safety. And what's, again, disappointing, in a sense, is, again, no pressure here. He doesn't have anyone in his face. He's got a clean pocket. He's able to step into a little bit and just throw it, right? He's able to plant that forward foot and throw that ball. But just Badly overthrows it. And that's where some of those inaccuracies really start to bite you if you're Sanders. Because that's not a good read, but a lot of them are good reads that just end up being overthrows. Then over here, this is definitely fueled by, pressure, and then overthrows it. And this is pretty just simple. You see it because you see it. He's got a Baylor guy who's just going to come straight at you, and because of that, Sanders is forced to throw off his back foot, right? Watch him right there. He's throwing it, and then Baylor guy makes a very strong play. And then from here, he's going to take that snap, and this guy right here is just going to come right into Spencer's face, right? So what is he doing? He's backing off, throwing off his back foot. Very similar to that first Baylor interception we saw from the first game, right? You see him throwing off his back foot, and that's always a bad thing, right? Throwing, why? Because even though there's all that open space there, Sanders just lets that ball flow too much, isn't able to get there, and the Baylor defender makes a good play jumping on it. And then we saw it from the first angle again. And you see it. Watch Sanders. As he just starts backing up, right? He's forced and throwing off his back foot. This is very bad. It's not a situation you want to be in. But he tries to do a little too much. And because of that, interception. And those are plays that are definitely just very much going to bite you. And those are probably some of the things you want to see him just throw away possibly. But it's a mix of that pressure, right? This is a play that is really going to irritate you if you're Spencer Sanders and you go back to that bench. Not just because, your offensive line let you down, but also because you just made a pass you should not have attempted, likely. But again, because of that pressure, that offensive line not even able to hold for a second, you're not able to make a good decision. It's a combination, right, of that offensive line and decision making, but it's a difficult type of conundrum for sure. Now over here, watch the 11th play. And then over here, this is a little interesting. I'm going to see it from here, right? He's going to hold on to that ball. He's going to get some pretty good depth, pretty solidly. Right? He's able to step up. Right? He steps into it. But he knows he's about to be hit as well. He steps and throws it, and as he's getting hit, just throws it definitely to not where he wanted to. And I don't know exactly which receiver, whether it's Tay Martin or John Paul Richardson. You got Martin over here. And if I had to guess, I would think it's not Tay Martin because Tay Martin's running, you got a safety right in front of him. But John Paul Richardson, who's running that crossing route across the field, has more open grass over there, which you see. But because Sanders is being hit while he's throwing it, he just can't get that ball out properly. And that's what happens. Again, pressure. Does the... Right, grabs that ball. Right. Gets on him. And that's Cole Birmingham, who just can't hold his ground against the Baylor lineman. Right, you got Birmingham right here. He loses it. Right, guy's right in front of him. And Sanders gets rid of that ball. Trying to let it develop, but it can't in situations like that. Now, last interception of the season. And I think this one wraps it up pretty well. He's going to see a little play action, bootleg toward his left, his non-dominant side, and is forced to make a very difficult throw. Well, in the sense of you watch the arm angle, right? Flicks it, and, it's pretty impressive that he's able to make that, but goes out, receiver gets hit, ball goes in the air. Now watch from the back angle, and we'll see how this kind of develops, right? So Sanders gets it, right? Play action, goes to bootleg, and now he's got a guy right in his face, so... You watch it, right? He's able to make these off-platform type of throws very, very well. You see the angle. He's throwing his body's all off. And for all intents and purposes, with a guy right in front of him, he gets that ball leads to the receiver, to his credit. But, you see it right here. Watch Presley. He has to turn around and get that. Now, there's really two states of mind here. One, this is not a perfect throw, of course. You're not throwing the numbers. You're not throwing it to in front of him in stride. You're throwing a little behind him. Now, number two is the receiver should catch it. But again, you don't put that fully on the receiver because it's behind him while he's running full speed the other direction. And so it happens. So it's not the perfect pass, but some of it is on that receiver needing to catch it because he has to make a more difficult play because there's no angle to throw it on the numbers or in front of him in stride because this defender who's right on Spencer Sanders right now is right in front of him, right? There's no angle to throw it. But Sanders makes a quick little quick little flick to throw it at least to Presley's body catch radius, who isn't obviously doesn't have, Tay Martin catch radius, but it's right there. You see the ball it's right next to his helmet. He can catch that. But instead, it bobbles. He's bobbing the ball, gets hit very hard, and then ball just goes right in the air. And you watch it from the angle, from the front again. From the normal angle. Here, right when he's going, when you watch this defender, he's right in front of him. So Sanders has to make that difficult throw. And he's throwing with a lot of heat, absolutely. And that's why it makes it even more difficult. Not only is it behind Presley a little bit, it's also coming in very fast. So it's just a combination of unlucky things. There's a good chance this could have just been an interception, right? He bobbles it, drops it, bobbles it, gets hit, and then drops it. But instead, ball goes in the air. And that becomes a difficult thing because, again, looks bad for the quarterback stat sheet. And we just take a look at, the holistic scope of everything and wrapping it all together. There's a lot of difficult moments you see, right? Some of them are, a couple of them were dropped passes because of a receiver, maybe two of them. A couple of them, and a lot of them because the pressure is really in his face, and that makes it more difficult. Some of them are just bad decisions, but, there's not that many. Even, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, all of the great ones are going to be throwing interceptions. That's part of it. But you get a little more flustered and irritated when they are interceptions that are from really just porous decisions. When you look at the tape, there's not that many of these horrible decisions. And I can just tell you from watching Spencer Sanders the past 3 years, especially the past 2 years, those first 2 years, he was really making those sort of unwise decisions. His mechanics were off. Last year, you could see a drastic improvement in just the way he went about it. There was even a long stretch where he didn't have an interception, a couple of games at least. His overall numbers, he had 12 interceptions, but he also threw 392 attempts, I believe. I think if I have my numbers right, that's 150 more pass attempts than he's thrown either of the past 2 seasons, which is just impressive with that sort of volume. And not just that volume, but not having Tylan Wallace and Dylan Stoner and all those weapons in his lineup. He had a very young receiving core, a very inexperienced receiving core for for basically the entire season, but made do pretty well. His whole team did. But overall, you can really see how Tim Rattay, the past couple of years as quarterbacks coach, has really helped him with pocket presence, mechanics to a good degree, and just making some of those decisions. And he really did a lot better job, like I've been talking about. When you watch the tape, there are a lot of discrepancies of things you don't like. And a lot of that has to do with, being fooled by coverage and those sorts of things. And those are things that, he's going to hopefully work to improve. But Mike Gundy has talked about this over the years. This is an offense that they want their quarterbacks to be aggressive, to launch the ball down the field, to try to make some plays. And they're going to throw some interceptions, and that's okay. And he's not just saying that. You've seen it because not once has he ever really wavered from starting Spencer Sanders the past couple of years. It's always been heavily, this is his team the past 2 years. So now, obviously, after 3 years, I'm just going to be very curious to see how he's going to clean up some of those things, where he's going to improve, make some better throws. I think that's the big thing. It's not as much decision-making that worries me now. It's just the inaccuracy sometimes. And those are the things that really lead to some of those more egregious interceptions, things you don't like, because it's hard to really, you can't cut out every single interception, like I said. And sometimes, this isn't Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck in college where these guys are so smart, so intelligent, Trevor Lawrence, where they're so intelligent. Most college quarterbacks are not going to be like that. Sometimes they're going to be tricked. You can live with that. You try to eliminate it, obviously, and learn from it, but you can live with that. What you can't is bad decision-making of just poor decisions and overthrows, underthrows because of just pure inaccuracy. Those are things that will irritate you a little more. So it's going to be interesting to see how he kind of goes about it. And I think a lot of it will start with him just stabilizing and trusting. Well, it's a two-way street because for him to really stay in the pocket and fully, he was definitely better with his pocket presence, but to just fully commit to that and then use the running as a secondary tool, he needs better protection. And that's something we saw time and time again last year, and that's some of the things you saw when we watched these 12 plays. That's going to be a must for OSU. But if that does improve, and this team, these receivers are more experienced, things are going to come together, it's going to be an interesting season to see for OSU and Spencer Sanders.